I'm in Kuala Lumpur. Good morning, tiny turtles. Yeah, I made it to Malaysia. God, yesterday was a long day. Even though it was only like just under a 3-hour flight. Everything around going to airports and like traveling is the stuff that's so exhausting. The flight itself is fine. You just sit there. And it was a really quiet flight. I had like a whole row to myself. The row behind me was empty. But I had to get up early to make sure I was at the airport. Well, I got there like 4 hours, I think, before. But then I couldn't check my bags in until 3 hours before. So I just had to like sit for an hour. There wasn't really anything I could eat at the airport. There was a Burger King, but I'm not going to risk painful explosive diarrhea on a plane. Yeah, so flight was fine, and then got into Kuala Lumpur, and then when you get to a new airport, you have to figure out where you're going, and for some reason there it said like all passports and then pictures of all different countries, including the UK, but then immigration separately. So I went to the passport, did that, but then it didn't work, so then I had to queue up for immigration, and then did my usual thing of, when I'm in the queue, like, panic Googling if I need a visa for that country, even though I know that I don't. So I did that, but good job I did, because I forgot that I had to do an online like registration form like I did for Bangkok. I'm scratching, I've got a mosquito bite like on my chin. Like, there must have been something in my bed in like the last night in Da Nang, because all of like my left shoulder and my arm are covered in mosquito bites. I didn't have like any the whole time I was there, and then got absolutely destroyed on like the last day. Anyway, yeah, so I went to go do like the digital like visa form thing in the queue, and then because I like panicked, because this is like one thing I like get really anxious and panic over, is not doing the right thing and getting something wrong. So then I just clicked like the first link, and then it ended up being for every like visa, like country visa website, there's like an official one, and then there'll be like several scam ones where you have to pay. For normal ones, you shouldn't have to pay. But this is the thing, sometimes you do. But I found the best way is to just go onto like the UK government website and then find the information for visas there, and then they'll have a link for the official registration website, so you do that. But because I was panicking, I forgot this, but long story short, I ended up losing like 50 quid, so I was pretty pissed off about it. But I'm trying to do this thing where, rather than like constantly spiral and like beat myself up when I do something wrong and be like, you're a piece of shit, why didn't you know that, you should be better, etc., I'm trying to reframe it, and my therapist will be very proud, being as I hadn't seen her in a while. Whoa, a huge bird. It's like a crane or something. Yeah, there's two big just cranes chilling out, flying about. That's cool. I like that you can see the Petronas Towers from here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be yawning a lot. I got like the worst night's sleep last night just because it's so hot. And just, whenever you go to a new place, it takes me longer to adjust and sleep. Anyway, yeah, so I did all that at immigration, and then you have to like go and find your suitcases and then find where you need to get a taxi or a Grab. So they have Grab here as well. And usually there'll be like a designated Grab area. And for some reason, like, Kuala Lumpur Airport is just an absolute labyrinth. When you come out into level 2, but then you have to find level 1, but you have to go through level 2 to get to level 1, and then you have to go out the right door to get to the Grab area. Oh, and it's just, that was like one of the only times where I had a moment, and I was just like, this is really stressful, and it was really hot, and I'm really tired, and all I've eaten today is a Snickers. But I had a moment. It was okay. We got through it. And then I managed to find the area for grab. But oh god, that was just like a sensory nightmare because it was, you know, you're suddenly hit by the humidity and the heat by being outside. And for some reason, just it was just back to back cars. The guy, I managed to get a grab and he messaged me a picture and it was just like total gridlock. And everyone was just like beeping. And then for some reason there was a guy who was doing security. All he was doing was just stood whistling. Yeah, he had a whistle and it was like a referee at a football match, but it would just like point to random people and then whistle. And there was like a baby crying and I was just like, do you remember Stressed Eric? The cartoon from like the early 2000s? That was me. That was very much me. And then I managed to get in a taxi and then I forgot that Kuala Lumpur is fucking enormous. So it took me an hour to get here in the car. And then the guy had like nice, relaxing, like spa music when I got in, and it was like all the windows had UV filters on, so it was like a nice little kind of calm pod. But then as we went on, the music got more and more intense, and it went through like EDM and trance. And then by the time we got to the hotel, my guy was playing Darude Sandstorm. And at that point, I was just like, you have to just laugh because I will actually cry. Yeah, cool building. I'm looking forward to getting in the pool. I really like the apartment. I think I did good with this. I don't know why this is just like a corner sofa, but they've got it in like the bed formation, which is what my sofa bed situation used to be. But I always think it's funny because you don't have room to have like a side table or anything, so you're just like sat there and everything's really far away. But it's such a cool view. It very much reminds me of being in Dubai, just having this like awesome skyline surrounding you. So, plan for the day. It is Tuesday. I need to go get some food. Getting takeaway is a bit of a nightmare here. I ended up having to go get food last night. I saw in that mall that there was like a Nando's, and then looked on Google Maps, looked at the menu and everything, saw they had a veggie burger, got there and it didn't, so I ended up walking around for ages and finding a place that did pad thai. Right, let's go get some breakfast. I love the contrast that there's a mosque on the left and then an IKEA. What a strange combination of worlds. And just behind that IKEA is a mall, and that's where I ended up having to go for dinner last night. Our half was tempted to actually go to the IKEA this morning to get breakfast, but it's just once you're in there, you never get out. Also, look at this sketchy junction. It's funny, I was just stood like watching all the cars and everything last night, and cities just like totally baffle me. Like, it was like midnight and it was just still as busy as it is now. I'm like, where is everyone going? What are you all doing? Why are you in bed? I can just tell today is going to be one of those days. I just had my phone on charge, but on like the power socket thing, there's loads of individual switches for each plug, and I didn't turn it on. So I've just been, what I thought, charging my phone for the last like half an hour, but not.
Doors are closing.
Saying no, we're not going to be part of it. It doesn't matter how, the United
Ah, shade. Found somewhere to have some brecco, just had some scrambled eggs on some sourdough and a cup of tea, because I am very English. Whenever I have like a cup of tea with a saucer, I just feel like a Bond villain, and I found it very empowering. Stomach feels a bit weird today, not entirely sure what's going on in there, but I'm trying to just not think about it. Gonna go for a little walk now. I've seen that there's a Hard Rock Cafe just around the corner, and even though there's not really anything in there for me food-wise, I like to pop into Hard Rock Cafes and places that I go to. I got that from my bestie, he really likes them. And it's cool because you get to see, like, you know, musical accoutrements, guitars from famous people and whatnot. Sometimes they do have food. I mean, I remember, I think it was the Barcelona one had a really good vegan breakfast. Aha, we're here already. Well, I had a little swizz in the shop, but it is very expensive, like 20 quid for like a little like badge pin thing. I think that's a bit steep. Things are definitely happening in my stomach. Just trying to ignore it. Gonna go find a bridge. There's a famous bridge nearby. Let's go do that. Ooh, the Ritz. Just saw a tour bus go past. That's a very interesting idea for today, being as I am quite sleepy. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm torn between just kind of like mooching about and then going home and like going for a swim or something later, or I don't know, just keep mooching. It's a very nice bridge. Goes over the Klang River. Yeah, Klang. All right, to KLCC Park. Onward with our tourist day. So this is a Muslim cemetery, which is very interesting. I don't believe I've ever actually seen one before. It's very pretty. It's interesting how it's all incredibly flat. They all just seem to have the kind of burial structure and then little nodules on top. Be interesting to do some research about it and see what the dealio is. I feel like I know a bit about it, but I don't want to say it in case I'm wrong. So I'm going to fact check that first. Check your facts, kids, before you start blabbing them. Whew, I was going to go around this park, but it's so hot. The sun is melting me. I'm melting. This is very nice. I'm sure the park's lovely. I can literally feel my brain frying though, so I'm going to go into that mall. There's a Marks and Spencer's in it. That's so random. You've just seen a Ferrari. A lot of wealth flying around in Kuala Lumpur, I get the feeling. Let's go inside and have some sweet, sweet air conditioning. Whew. Oh, thank God for that. Random Prada store. I think this might be a more upmarket mall. I can see Armani. I've just gone past Prada. There's a Fendi store. There's a Coach store. Having kind of Pretty Woman vibes here. It's a Versace. Balenciaga. The social experiment of fashion. I just went to go use the toilet. We had to pay. I'm not paying to do a poop off. Apparently it's a premier toilet and you have to go to another level to use a pleb toilet. To the pleb toilet it is. Well, I went to a pharmacy to go and see if I could get some mosquito spray. It's got to be, from everything I've found online, you want to get mosquito spray that's got something called DEET in it, but all the ones here seem to be DEET free. I think it's like, because it's a chemical, I think it's supposed to be quite bad for like the environment and crops and such, which is bad, but I also don't want to be eaten alive by mosquitoes. But I did get some cream because I am suffering and I need to put some like cream on the ones I've got, mainly like here. And they also had loads of stomach stuff and loads of like reflux things and antacids. I'm so bad. I should take antacids like all the time, being as I wake up with reflux like every day and I get reflux after like every meal. It's so much effort to keep on top of health shit. Speaking of which, right, I'm gonna go find my pleb toilet. I'm stood in the lobby of the Petronas Towers. So there's one tower there and there's one tower there, which is pretty cool, which is like at the end of the mall. It like tadges on the end of the mall. I feel like such a dum-dum. I keep seeing people in like Mercedes F1 t-shirts and I was like, that's weird. The Petronas Towers. Petronas is the main sponsor of Mercedes Formula One team. You can tell I don't watch much F Formula One anymore. So you can go up and go into the little sky bridge, but I don't think I can be bothered. I'm not that fussed really about like going up towers and seeing views of skylines and that kind of business. So I'll see where to go next. I kind of fancy a little beverage or something. Cool in the toilets, there was a squatter and a sitter not a shitter, but I mean both. Got no issue with squatting for a wee whiz. I'll wee whiz anywhere if I have to. Sometimes just because I want to. But when it comes to having diarrhea, don't know if I'm quite ready to squat and do diarrhea. I like to be comfortable. It can take a while. I took an antacid. I feel slightly triggered by taking antacids, I'm not gonna lie. So when I used to be an active binge drinker, I would wake up, well, probably still be awake, having been awake for several days. And then in my brain, I was like, to counteract, like the 12 hours of drinking and substance abuse, I'd be like, I'm gonna have an antacid, that'll help. And then I would just throw it up. So it's taken me a while to be able to take antacids again without having that memory. But we persevere. Today is a day of oversharing, I've decided. Okay, so here's a fun fact for you. The reason I know about the Petronas Towers is because, hold that thought, giant moth. Okay, moth update. Poor thing is in fact dead and pretty crispy, but one of the biggest moths I've ever seen. It's so beautiful. It's fluffy in the middle. Poor little dude. Okay, so according to Wikipedia, from what I can find, it's called a Lyssa zampa, or a Lyssa zampa, Lyssa zampa moth. A tropical swallowtail moth, or louse brown butterfly. Excellent. I'll put you under here. Bye, moth. Anyway, where were we? Yes. So the reason I know about Petronas Towers is because I am in fact a visual effects artist and a bit of a visual effects nerd, and making visual effects was my hobby before I knew it was actually a thing. And I used to do this in After Effects, and anyone who got started in After Effects knows about this guy called Andrew Kramer and a website called Video Copilot, where you could make these like 2.5D kind of 3D looking scenes in After Effects, which looked like, you know, really filmic and essentially were like big budget Hollywood things that you could do at home in After Effects. And one of them was making a Petronas Towers, and it was like a moody Sin City evening rainy thing. I'm wondering if I've ever uploaded it to YouTube, or if I know it was on a showreel once, so if I can find it, here it is. Yeah, I feel like I'd love to talk more about being a VFX nerd, but I just know it doesn't mean anything to anyone. When I was at Banner Hills, all I could think about, because it was so misty, in compositing, you use this thing called a Z-depth mask. And that's basically like a grayscale black and white image, which you use to determine depth of field. And you can also use it to create atmospheric light and mist and that kind of thing. And that's all I could think about when I was at Banner Hills, was just like, I'm in a Z-depth mask. Such a nerd. Okay, I can see a Starbucks and a 7-Eleven. We like both of those things. Yes, we do, because both of those things serve refreshing beverages. Okay, had a nice little break. Had a strawberry matcha. Charged my phone. Pretty handy. The plug situation is the same as UK. Just your standard 3-pin jobby. Although I think I read something that the voltage is different, so don't really know what that means. Seems to be fine. My phone didn't blow up. I'm gonna go find another mall. There seems to be quite a few in this area. Clouded over a little bit, which is kind of nice. It was too hot. It was too hot before. There was a 7-Eleven in there, so where that Starbucks was and the 7-Eleven seemed to just be in like the lobby of like a big housing skyscraper thing. I think it was like offices and apartments. I think that seems to be quite common, that they have like shops in the lobby as like a perk for living there. Yeah, so I did find there was a much bigger 7-Eleven about 10 minutes away, but I'll go have a look in this mall. Okay, I want to go in this mall because there's a Pop Mart there. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be like a Pop Mart person, and I don't know, I'll just go and look at them. I mean, I literally can't buy any. Like, my luggage is actually full and I don't have a house. We'll see. What's really nice about here is that you can smell oud everywhere, which is a perfume. It's from, I don't know if it's specifically a Middle Eastern perfume, but I think it's derived from like sandalwood. All of the malls in Dubai smell like it, and it's so nice and just so like fragrant, and it doesn't smell like artificial or anything. I've been wanting to get some for a while. I might have to have a look whilst I'm here because it is so nice. Like just to have, if you had a house, to have it in your home or on your body, yeah, lovely. Look into oud. Well, this mall is enormous. It seems to be split into like two sections, a fashion section and a non-fashion section. There's also a National Geographic store, which I kind of want to investigate as well, if I can find where the hell I'm going. I'm just going to go up a level and see if that helps. That's 2 Guinness things I've seen now in the space of like 30 minutes. That was like an entire like Guinness tasting experience. Not entirely sure what that's about. I miss Guinness. Okay, I did some research whilst I was having another poo, and I think I'm going to be on level 5. I have no idea what level I'm on now, but this is a good sign, because this is one of the things I'm looking for. Hey, and it's right there. What do you know? Well, that was pretty cool, but I have to admit, it's not as good as the Vans did a combo line range with National Geographic, and that went pretty hard. But the actual just regular National Geographic clothes is kind of just like your average walking, hiking gear, but way expensive. Okay, now to find Potmark. I'm wondering if it actually exists. Once again, for not the first time today, I am a massive dum-dum. I literally came to this spot before. I've essentially just done a huge circle, and I was stood looking directly at it, but it was half hidden behind an escalator. Tricksy, very tricksy. So let's go. There it is, hiding. I like this when it's all kind of crisscrossy. It feels like I'm a bee in a big beehive. Well, it's now pouring it down. At first I was like, ooh, it's quite refreshing, a bit of rain. Now it is actually pouring it down. I got some beverages and a couple of snacks from 7-Eleven. I think I'm just going to order a taxi from here to go back to my Airbnb. Might go for a swim in the rain. That might be quite nice. But I also might just sit. A good sit. Well, I tried ordering a Grab, but the first one cancelled, and the second one, well, I mean, I had to wait for like 15 minutes for the first one, and then it cancelled, and then when I managed to try and get another one, it said it was going to take 17 minutes. And in that time, the rain had stopped, so I thought, may as well just walk and see what happens, really. Apparently, according to Google Maps, it only takes like half an hour to get back to the flat, so that's not terrible if I just go at a steady pace. I was just filming, and then some American guy like dodged out of the way so he wasn't in the shot, and I said thank you, and then we ended up just chatting for a little bit, which was really nice. I feel like that's one of the only kind of interactions I've had really since I've been away. I mean, there was the chicks who I did the high van pass with, who were really nice, but in terms of just like bumping into people on the street or something, I mean, all the locals have been nice, but it was just nice to have a little human interaction, really. Good job I was paying attention. There's nearly a goner then. Don't really know what I'm supposed to do here other than just go for it, I think. the path just disappeared, and now I'm just like in the middle of a dual carriageway. I still don't really know where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I'll go under here and see what happens. Well, I think Google Maps is drunk. It's literally just wanting me to walk in the middle of the road, and I'm not doing that. So I'm just gonna go back the way that I came, see if I can do some kind of detour. And worst comes to the worst, I'll just try and get another Grab. I just want to go home. Ah. But I want to go home. Well, it's starting to lightning again. Please don't rain. Apparently, I managed to get another Grab, but it's going to take 15 minutes to get here. Ooh, it's just like pulsing lightning, like a strobe light. I did see one lightning bolt earlier, that was very exciting, but it hurt my eyes a bit. So I'm just kind of just waiting here now by the side of the road. I found somewhere where there's like a little lay-by, so at least they can pull in. Hopefully I'll get back. I've been trying to get back for like over an hour now. I thought it'd be easy. They need Grab bikes. This would be a lot easier with Grab bikes, or if, you know, paths didn't disappear and you could walk not in the middle of the road. Okay.
Okay, so that one is you should definitely go for that one. Yes, that one is just opened like a couple months back.
Right.
So it was closed. That was an administration office built.
Finally. Oh, I had a lovely taxi driver who was very chatty, and then now he lived in London for 3 years. In the 90s though, pre-smartphones, the golden age. I feel like watching Spaced made me really wish that I lived in London before like the early 2000s. Would have been great. I mean, I think I'm a little bit too young actually for that to have worked out, but oh, thank God I'm back. I can't wait to just sit. I love sitting. Sorry, jump scare. I'm in a towel. You have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel. Despite wearing a shirt, I mean, to be fair, it came to like there and mosquito cream. Look at, I don't know if you can tell. You can't see. I got a fucking big giant mosquito bite on my elbow.